Enough of this stuff. Let's get a body.
Johnny.
What's he gonna do? Hit us with his whittle hammer?
Come on, Rich. Get that goal.
Sonic is forward?
Yeah, forward. Johnny!
It's hammer time.
Well, I'll be dipped in shit and rolling breadcrumbs.
One of Odessa's recipes?
Well, that's right. Welcome back to the Why So Series podcast. I'm your host, Brandon, and we are back for another retro review. Devin's back with us. Mike may be joining us, but we got two guests who've been on the show before, but we're glad to have back for this. And they might be mad at me because I made them watch this shitty movie, but we'll see. But first, we got Rich Fann from the PW Tours Deep Dive. What's good, Rich?
Not much, and I don't hate you. I love you, in fact, because I have more gifts than I ever need.
Well, this movie was full of a lot to gift, so that is true. And we got my man Jeff from the Jeff vs. the World podcast. What's good, Jeff?
What's going on?
So, so people have been listening to our show for a long time. We used to do retro reviews for a long time, and then we stopped. And then I really got into Jeff's podcast, and I was like, you know what? We need to start doing some retro reviews again. So I was like, who better to have on than Jeff? And I should have got Shahid on because that shit would have been really funny for this movie. See, I think he would have hated this shit.
You're absolutely right. He would have hated it.
But we are reviewing. If you guys don't know, because you probably never seen this movie or erased it from memory, we are reviewing 1997 Steel, starring Shaquille O'Neal. I'm not going to read the synopsis, but it's basically...
Can you dig it?
This black person who's a weapons maker in the military leaves the military because an evil white man turns the weapon up too high and destroys everybody. And so then he goes back to L.A. and puts on plastic that looks like steel and goes and fights the people in his community, his own people, with weapons that he's supposed to be fighting against. But before we get into this movie, there's a couple things I want to do. So when I was on Rich's podcast a couple weeks, I don't know if it's out yet, but I was on there a week and a half ago. And one of the things we talked about was like what we've been watching and doing during the pandemic, and so we usually start that off on every weekly episode. So I'll start with Devin. Devin, what kind of anime you been watching over the last couple of weeks?
I just caught up on Black Clover. That's always amazing. It's wizard anime. It's really good. Caught up on Boruto. That's everything. But pretty much, I've been watching Cursed and The Order on Netflix, and that's been really good. And yeah, I was triggered by this movie. I'm just gonna tell before we get into it, but I was triggered.
I mean, there were a lot of triggers in the movie.
It's the main overarching theme of cultures. These whites be whiting. That's all I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it there and leave it there. These whites be whiting.
All right. Rich, what you been up to the last couple weeks?
Oh, God. Well, I mean, depends. When my son is either in control of the TV or is in a mood, we'll be watching whatever's on the Disney Channel. So I am way too familiar with all their tween and animated shows like Big City
Jesse?
Greens. I know about Jesse. I know about Jesse. I know about Camp Kiki. Oh, I'm sorry, Bunked. I had to watch the crossover event of Raven about Bunked.
Oh, wow.
Where Raven Simone and her family went to Camp Kikiwaka. But when I'm watching stuff myself, I've been watching a lot of anime. I'll watch, God, what was I just watching? Oh my God, I just forgot the name of it. It's two dudes who were orphans growing up at the same orphanage, and they both want to be the king wizard.
That's Black Clover. That's Black Clover, sir. That is Black
That's
Clover.
the one you're watching. Yeah.
Yes,
Black Clover. It just went
really
right
good.
out of my head. I'm up to episode 60. And
oh yeah,
so
you got way more to catch up. We're on like episode 140 now, so you got
Whoa.
yeah.
yeah, because I got on the thing I'm watching it on, it's like up to 128. So I'm gonna have to talk to you, Devin,
Yeah,
about where I can find the other.
120. Oh, I got you. I'll send you the link right after we get off.
Yeah, because yeah, so I've been watching that, and we got right before the pandemic, we had gotten for Black Friday a smart TV, and so during the pandemic, we set it up because my wife didn't listen to me, and she bought one that was bigger than our TV stand, so we had to find a stand that fit. She's like, I don't get what the problem is, and then I set up the TV, and the legs are like dangling off the side. I was like, oh Jesus. And so I've been watching that, and I watch a lot of like, I don't know about y'all. I mentioned this with Brandon when he was on, which is going to be on Saturday. Like I watch a lot of stuff where I know where it's going because I'm not in the mood for like at least with like Black Clover, it's never going to get as dark. Like I was telling a friend, I was watching Supernatural before the pandemic, and now I'm like, wait a minute, this is a little yeah. It's like let me
20 seasons. It's
like
19 to 20 seasons. I'm not sure. Where did they stop? 19 or 20?
Oh no, 15.
15. Okay, yeah. It's just a lot of fucking seasons.
15 seasons of Supernatural.
Yeah,
it was only supposed to be 3, and then they were like, it was like, let's do some more, and it is great because you keep pulling in and you get more lore. And for me, it's like over the top, but in a way where it's like CW/W because they started on the WB. That's how old that show is.
Yeah.
Didn't it cancel? It got canceled and got brought back, right?
Yep. And then CW was like, sprinkle a little dust on them. Come on back. Come on home. And yeah, so I've been watching those, and then I stopped like with the pandemic because in the middle of the 11th season they were having like these super flu. I was like, nah, I don't. This is like art imitating life right now, so I'm good. And so yeah, so I've been watching those and wrestling obviously because
Yo, you got it. I need a quick recap on wrestling, even though I didn't see Sasha won the belt, and so her and Bailey are both double champs and shit.
Quote unquote won the belt.
Yeah,
That's
she
bullshit.
quote unquote won it. Listen,
here's
the deal for me, Devin. The thing I loved about it, because you mentioned Black Clover, it was the most anime way to win a belt, and I think not only Asuka but Sasha would have appreciated it because basically Bailey gave Kairi Sane CTE, and she had to give her the anime like Asuka, and then she was just like, ugh, and you can just see like the cut screen of her like sprinting to the corpse of Kairi Sane. Because even afterward, they were like, the doctors are like, what they say about Kairi, and then she just starts crying and screaming in Japanese. And I was like, oh, I've been playing Ghost. Oh, and playing Ghost of I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima. She's about to go on a blood.
Yo, how good is that game? I need to know because I'm gonna purchase it.
Oh, it's really
awesome.
good.
Okay, I say like PlayStation has 3 things now I can guarantee in life. Well, actually 4 now with Ghost of Tsushima. If you want a sadness simulator, play The Last of Us and Last of Us 2.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
If you want a Spider-Man simulator or Batman simulator, play those games on the PS4 because that's basically your Batman, your Spider-Man. And if you want to be a samurai that has conflicts of like, should I be doing dirt to save my people, or do I have to just stay down the line? Play Ghost of Tsushima because you're going to the Mongols, and like the whole point of it is it's almost like The Force Awakens or any of the old Knights of the Old Republic games where you can stay down the samurai line with your techniques and fight people. Like you go to a place and you just announce yourself and you start showing down like it's a right out of Japanese movie. Where you do the one slash, you'll do the like right before a showdown, he'll like flick his thumb on the sword and just slide the sword out a hair. As soon as I heard that, I like giggled because as soon as you lined up across a beautiful flowery path and all of a sudden. And I was like, okay.
It feels like you're in a samurai movie that was like written and directed by a Japanese person who actually like knows about Japanese history, and it's not like
this ain't The Last Samurai. It's like, oh, I am a Dutch man who just happens to stumble into this Asian paradise and teach me your ways. No. This is a Japanese dude who's tied to some Mongols coming in his island, and he's about to start slapping fools.
Okay.
Also,
so I could be a rogue. I could be a whole rogue ninja out here and just kill off niggas.
Yeah. You could be sneaking up through bushes, jacking dudes like they're in prison, like shanking them with your So like, everyone's like, and then they'll tell stories about you like based on your reputation. And so if some of your like people who do more of the samurai training here, you've been doing dirt, They might not teach you techniques because it's
crazy.
like, why I'm gonna teach you this when you just gonna stab a dude in the bushes.
I want to throw out the one awesome thing about that game is that once you get somewhere, they do have fast travel. I
Oh
did not
yes,
want
yes. I
Red
appreciate
Dead
that.
Redemption, you got to ride all the way back. I'm like, oh.
Gonna take my horse. Nope. Nope.
that is
And
some
can't
Old
do
Town
it.
Road. Also, next Monday, Sasha needs to have whoever the dude in the truck is that puts stuff on the screen. She need to bring him out for her interview with the belt to thank him for putting that on the screen because
Right.
He was the real MVP.
Listen, if WWE, like during this pandemic, the biggest thing I'm disappointed by is if they're going to do these movie cinematic things with the wrestling matches, that was the perfect opportunity to go full anime and just do. Or I've been watching too much Raven with my son, like where you just cut to Asuka in the middle of the ring and like she's having a vision of that happening.
That's
would be
crazy.
good.
That would be
Like
would be good.
just lean right into it, like just go all the way, and everyone's like, and then it's like with the red background, and then like she's like, Kyrie, no, and then she's running out there. It's like, sure enough, body of Kyrie Sane, rest in peace. See you at the crossroads.
Kyrie's dead.
Baby Bone Thug.
Jeff, what you been watching?
Oh boy. Just things off the top of my head. I finally finished Baki. Well, I caught up with Baki.
Yes, Baki. Baki is dope. Baki's on Netflix as well.
He is so dope, and Muhammad Ali Jr. is just a sucker. But anyway, I've been watching that. I've been watching The Office. I've been trying to get into. My wife's been watching fairy tales. So
It's good. It's good. It's
I'm
good.
kind of like
it picks
watching
up on season 3. Yeah.
What is that? What does that come on, Jeff?
It's on
it was on
everything now.
Funimation.
Yeah, it's on everything now though. It's on Hulu, Netflix, Funimation, all that good shit.
But don't ask me what it's about because I'm like always asking her questions because she's deep
It's
into
not.
it.
Yeah, it's crazy what it's really about because you just gotta. It's about acquiring power. It's about typical anime. Typical. somebody wants to be great at the end of the day. You know.
Yeah. And as far as games, I finally finished The Last of Us 2. And I'm finally, really getting to start to play Ghost of Tsushima. Well, other than that, that's it.
Well,
Look,
so Jeff,
y'all gonna make me pick a PlayStation controller up again, y'all. I appreciate y'all.
definitely need to get Ghost of Tsushima. It's worth it for you.
Yeah.
And your dad would love that too. Knowing your dad would absolutely love that. Knowing your father. But let's see. I think I talked about this last week, but I rewatched The Boys and reread The Boys, the entire series, which was I hadn't read The Boys in years, and rereading that, I was just like, man, I still cannot believe they made that into a television show. It's just
Now, question for you, Brandon. Did you follow up by reading Hero Gasm as well?
yes, I did read Hero Gasm.
Oh,
Yes.
God help you.
Yes,
Yeah, that was a lot.
That's
Like,
a
if they
lot.
put
It's so
Amazon,
much.
I'm gonna just back away.
It's so my. And then when you finish reading The Boys and you find out who the person was that did something to Huey at Hero Gasm, who he really was, it's a lot. But yeah, so like I always tell people, like, if you can get through The Boys, you can get through anything in comic books. And here's the thing: it's not just raunchy; it's actually a good story, but it's so raunchy. What else? I've been reading. I caught up on Captain America, which is Ta-Nehisi Coates is definitely doing this thing. I caught up on all the X books because I love the X-Men. And also, my vendetta against Hank McCoy still stands because he's so terrible.
Yes.
And he almost cost
Listen,
the mutants
what's wrong
Krakoa.
with the man just trying not to be who he is? What's the problem with
This man,
he got mutant vitiligo. I don't know what y'all talking about.
they need to do something about Hank McCoy because he's going to get all the mutants killed because he can't help himself, and he's so terrible, and I hate him so much. And then I've been watching some of these movies that Jeff was reviewing. So last night, I think I watched this when I was like a kid, but I don't remember it. I watched The Last Dragon with my wife.
Oh man! First of all, are you serious?
I haven't seen it
I gotta
since I
give
was a
Jeff
kid.
credit because I added that song to my running playlist when I
That
saw
song
that him and
is
Shaq
awesome.
reviewed it, I was like,
Yo,
"You are the." Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh my
that shit
god.
is everything.
I
First of
watched
all,
that
Brandon, I'm
terrible
disappointed.
movie.
What?
Terrible.
Terrible.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have to
Oh,
Say
talk
that
it's
about
a
again.
cultural classic. It's a
This is
cultural classic.
I didn't
What
say
happened?
I didn't say it wasn't fun. I said it was terrible. Those
Oh
are two
yeah,
different
okay,
things.
okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I
Listen,
apologize.
Devin talked about the idea of whites be whiting. That was the prototype.
Yeah.
Homeboy was doing too much. He had a piranha. Nah, man. Nah, that just alone. He caught a bullet with his teeth. Like, come on, Brandon.
You know
But
what's
listen,
my favorite? My
okay,
favorite thing
Brandon
about
was
that.
throwing like she was throwing a hurricane ranas at this dude from day one, and he was just like, I don't understand. Why are you flying? Like
what were you gonna say, Jeff?
The funniest thing about that was, and I told Shaheed when we finished our recording, was he didn't realize the name play on Eddie Arcadian, and I was just like, "How did you?"
Oh wow.
That small thing, that little small thing, I was like, "Yo, that was like the best thing about recording him realizing that, having the epiphany, like, oh shit, yeah, he got an arcade."
I was so much like Shaheed when I was watching it because I was looking at it through 2020 eyes. I'm like, this nigga is walking around with this hat, this Raiden hat on,
With his coolie hat on.
just completely appropriating this culture so bad. Just walking through town. He eating popcorn with chopsticks in the movie theater.
man, I seen a lot of Kappas do that.
Oh shit, that's funny. That's funny.
And
Oh,
then
man.
Jeff gets on the review and starts defending Richie's sexual education towards his
Hey.
brother.
All I said was simply this. I don't know what I said because I was too clowning too much. Never mind. Never mind.
This boy,
But I
12
just-
years old, talking about, you don't know what to do with your thing, Leroy. You don't know how to
I
please a
mean,
lady.
Like I said, he was the most adult person in the movie, though.
I mean,
Other than
that's true.
Sho'nuff, he was the most adult person in the movie.
I mean, I feel like he was more adult than Shownuff.
Well,
Sho'nuff.
Sho'nuff just wanted to smoke. That's all.
Shonuff had basically the Revolution as his backup.
Okay.
Right, real shit.
That is true.
Wait a minute. Since the movie's been watched, and since Shaheed wouldn't answer the question for me, maybe you will answer the question for me. Was that Freddie Mercury in Sho'nuff's group?
Yo, chill, yo.
So
You
everybody
wildin', you
telling me to
wildin',
chill and
you
won't give me.
wildin', you
Why
wildin',
won't
yo,
somebody
no.
give me an answer?
No, you-
I need an answer for the simple fact of he wasn't dead yet. He was still alive. And that guy looks 99.9
yo.
like
I'm
Freddie
looking at
Mercury.
the picture right
Wow.
now. Oh, man. Oh.
That's why you gotta chill, cause that shit. Yo, I ain't seen that movie in fucking like a year or something. But
I
like, as
didn't
soon as
even
you said that
notice
shit,
that.
you gotta fucking chill.
Listen,
The fucking slick back and everything, like you gotta fucking chill. You gotta fucking chill.
I'm-
I guess so.
Mustang, chill.
Listen, first off, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare I'm asking I thought I'm asking an honest question. Nobody wants to give me an answer.
This
Look.
is oh
I am I'm on like I'm withdrawal. Like as a movie guy, I'm not getting any screeners because there's no movies. And even if I was getting screeners, I'm not going to the movie theater right now. And so
Yeah.
I'm just like on this thing like fiending for movies. And I was just like, you know what? Instead of just listening to these reviews from Jeff, let me watch all these movies. So I rewatched Mortal Kombat. I rewatched. I didn't rewatch
Why?
Street Fighter because I do love myself to some extent.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing that. I did
Wait
that
a
once
minute.
for the show.
We all just watched Steel. So I don't think you would have had a problem with Street Fighter.
Steel is better than Street Fighter. Okay,
Still,
it is
yo,
better than
okay.
Street Fighter.
Ooh.
But before we start this, hold on. It's still better than Meteor Man or Meteor Man just
No,
in a different
Meteor
level.
Man is better than Steel
Yes.
okay.
Meteor Man is better than Steel.
and
But
Street
is it
Fighter and
campy?
Mortal
Because I feel
Kombat.
like Meteor Man is campy, and Steel was supposed to be a superhero like movie.
No. Nobody knows what Steel was supposed to be. We don't even know who it was catered for. That's the problem. Meteor Man knew what it was supposed to be, and they leaned into it. He's like, okay, this is a campy.
That reminds
I
me.
don't
Yeah.
Maybe our next
Supposed to
one,
be.
Devin, will either do Meteor Man or Blank Man.
Yo,
Oh, Blank
did
Man.
y'all
You got to
see?
do Blank Man just alone for the Johnny Five. What's happening to me? J5. What's happening to me? J5. Oh my God. I saw that with my parents the first time, and I was crying, laughing so hard at that.
So
So
I type in blank man right to Google, right? So you know how
Black Man
Google
2.
you know how
You saw it?
Google does. Hold on, what?
And two, Black Man 2 is gonna be with Damon Wayans Jr. He's gonna do it.
Yeah.
But
They're doing a blank man too.
yeah.
Listen, I just
I mean,
found
it was
out
on his
listening
Instagram.
to Shahid and Jeff that they made a belly 2, which I had no idea there was a belly 2. None.
Oh, man.
It never even
It's
occurred
not
to
worth
me
watching.
that they would make
It's
a
not
belly
worth. It's
sequel.
not worth watching. Yeah, it's not worth
Do
watching.
it.
It's not worth.
I typed in blank man, and so they bring up related to blank man, right? You get Hancock, Spawn, A-Bar, the first black Superman,
Hold on.
Be
What? Is
Media
that a
Man,
movie?
and then somehow you get Don't Be a Menace and Power Rangers.
Wow.
How you get power? Oh, that's different.
Oh man! All right.
Okay. Wait. Hold on. Let's stop real quick. Let's do some housekeeping. Brandon, happy 33rd birthday, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, happy birthday.
Appreciate it.
Happy.
Appreciate it. So yeah, I'm glad to be here on my birthday talking about this terrible movie. So let's get into it. We reviewed Steel. First of all, how many of y'all have seen Steel before this, or this is the first time y'all seen it?
I've seen it.
I've seen it before.
I saw it right after I had just started reading the Reign of the Superman or Death of Superman, where they got to introduce all of them, and I was like, "That's not Steel."
Yes. So for
I was
those
like,
who
"Is
don't
there
know,
a Superman?" Okay, that was my question. I was like, because it seemed like they kept zooming in on his tattoo, which would make no sense if there was never a Superman.
Well, I mean, Shaft did tell him, "You're the man of steel now."
and they did say
that's
something
true.
about a bat cave or something like that.
Yeah,
Right.
when
He
it's
drove
been a
through
whole-
his trash. Yeah, you definitely have to
Yeah.
watch Meteor Man, because not Meteor Man. I'm sorry, Blank Man, because that was basically Blank Man's base.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
So-
it was.
This was 97, right?
Yes.
97.
So I wonder if that Nicolas Cage thing would have wiggled itself in here and been like, that Superman would have been his inspiration.
Oh,
Just a thought. I mean, I
But
don't know if you want to leave.
it pissed me off from the beginning because I couldn't remember if he had the S on his chest, and he never had the S on his chest the entire film. And I'm just like, they had the rights to Steel. Obviously, they could have gave the S on his chest.
Yeah.
By the way, 97 was a terrible year for comic book movies because it had Steel and Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
That was bad.
So, I mean, that was a pretty bad year for that. But listen, Steel is, in the comic books, is like a really smart engineer dude. And then after the death of Superman, these other Supermans rose up. And so you have like Cyborg Superman, and then one of them was John Henry Iron Steel. But he actually like has a cool ass steel suit, and he got a cape, and he's got the S on his chest and the whole shebang. This dude was Save-A-Lot Steel.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, always.
I don't know how to describe it, but he was pretty terrible.
That was one actor away from making this a black movie, though. If fucking the what was that woman name in the wheelchair? Fucking
Annabeth
Spartan.
Kish.
Yeah,
Annabeth
yeah,
Kish.
yeah. If she was
like
fucking black,
level Sandra Bullock. You when you need Sandra Bullock and you can't get like 3 other women, you call Annabeth
But
Kish.
the bad
that's
thing about
facts.
that. Bad thing about that was supposed to be our great value Oracle, and I just get mad at her every time I think about it.
Woman in the chair. Every time I just thought of my dude from Spider-Man.
From Spider-Man,
I'm the
yes.
Woman in the chair.
By the way, I used to do this at the start of our reviews, but still, it cost $16 million to make. It made $1.6 million.
Totally
That's like
understand
Shaq-
it.
That's like Shaq's free throw percentage, so we good.
Yo,
Okay.
and this
Okay.
real shit. This is the real shit we gotta talk about. How much fucking shine Shaq had on when he got traded to the Lakers that year? He got traded that year.
Well, no, this was so he filmed this after he got traded. Technically,
Yeah, this is the shit. Like he got traded that
he
year.
had already done Kazam. by the way.
Okay, but this
That's
is when
a
he got
flex.
traded. This is around the Summer Olympics, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
He flexed on them, yo. That's a flex. Like to make this movie, and it got black enough for him. You know what I mean? Like to have
So-
it black enough.
I read this article that Rich sent me about the making of this film. And so they were talking about how, like, yeah, man, if we're going to have Shaq, we got to get some, like, real actors around him. And Warner Brothers was just like, is this a black film or is this not a black film? Because if this is a black film, we're not putting any money into it. And they ain't want to hire any good actors. I mean, you got Richard Roundtree, who's fine. The best actors.
Man, Hill Harper. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hill Harper took a pay cut for this. Oh.
I mean, the best actress in the film was his grandma.
Yeah,
Irma,
Big Mama.
Big Mama.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, Big Mama.
Big Mama, your arm.
Big Mama,
Yes.
Man,
Irma was
Big
the
Mama
best
lost that
actress in
leg.
the film.
Oh,
But
man, she
I mean,
was.
the rest of the film was just. And then all right, we'll get into this.
Hold
little
on.
bit more organically.
We gotta preface this shit. Is Ray J still not the same motherfucking person? He's the same motherfucking person.
Basically.
That nigga ain't grown one bit.
Yeah, Ray J was.
He's like this generation's Emmanuel Lewis.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
yes.
same voice, everything. Nothing like it's.
Nothing changed.
Yes, that's exactly who he is. So, all right, before we get started, I'll start with Jeff, because what is your overall thoughts of Steel watching it in 2020?
Oh boy. I tip my hat to it just for the simple fact it was like Spawn and this, as far as black comic books movies that came out or whatever, and you know we got other movies following that with our Blades and stuff like that. But this movie's just bad. I don't know what else to tell you. This movie's just not good. It's bad.
It's so bad.
I really want. Okay, maybe I should ask this question. This movie would have played a lot better with Wesley Snipes, right? I mean, it would have been a totally different movie, of course.
Yes, I mean, because Shaq can't act. So, yes.
And the problem was he had all his lines memorized, and you could tell he had them memorized, but there was no emotion from anything. The only time you get emotion from him when he's smiling and pointing at Sparky and that little weird little dynamic that was going on, because I don't
It ain't
think...
So
weird. They
weird.
just weren't ready to accept it. They weren't ready to accept
Yeah,
it.
okay.
They were.
Yeah, I mean, Rich, that's the real shit. That's real shit. Say it. Go speak on that.
Let it happen. Like as soon as Annabeth Kish looked at him that first time and said, I was telling him before they recorded, when she looked him in the eyes like, I can't wait to walk out of here and hang out with you. And that nurse shook her head like, nah, baby, nah.
Yeah, but we
And
know
at the
John
end of the
Henry.
movie, she had the transformer chair. She's like, listen, I'm gonna climb this mountain.
But we
Yes.
know John Henry Irons gets down because when he was in that police car with the woman police officer, she was like, "Oh, this gives me memories of the last time we were in the car together." And he was like, "Shh, Ray J's in the back. Like, don't talk about
Like,
don't
why
talk
she
about
couldn't be the why she couldn't be the fucking the protagonist? Why couldn't she be in the military with him? You know what I mean?
I'll be honest
But
with
then
you.
it would have made it a black movie, and then nobody would
Did-
have saw it. But
Did Jungle Fever come out?
yeah,
Jungle
like
Fever was
91,
out
92.
first.
Jungle Fever has been out already,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, Jungle
Yeah.
Fever
I
been
don't.
out.
The only thing I can think of is maybe you know Shaq's publicist or somebody on his side was like, yeah, maybe we just keep it kind of friendly, or maybe on her side, I don't know. But it's
No, I
like,
think it was him. I think you're right because he just got in trade. Said, hey, maybe we don't want to just lean right into that. Like, it's not like we got like you know.
'cause it was
I'm trying to think 96. That would have been like 96, 97 would have been Pam Anderson or
Oh man,
Kelly Nolan or someone like that from
that
Phase
shit
5.
would have that would have did numbers. If you put Pam in that shit, it would have did numbers.
I don't think
yo.
it would have been no. That would have
You
been a
can't
horrible
do that
idea.
because
You
Tyler
can't.
Perry didn't exist yet.
No.
You can't be having this with Kirk Franklin as like the beat drop for when he's building his suit, and then cutting to Pam Anderson walking. It's like, I got you. I'm Sparky.
7'1"
Yeah,
Shaq with Pam Anderson in 1997 in a movie this terrible. Mm-mm.
Parents groups would have been out of here.
I
They
can't
would've
trust
been
what
like,
they would have wrote.
boycott this movie.
I cannot
And-
trust what they would have wrote.
and my last thing, because I will get back to that whole Sparky and But if I was going to hear that damn stand-up song one more time, because they played it in the beginning, they played it in the middle, and how about they play it when Sparky stands up? And I just got immediately madder and madder. I was like, make this song stop. Why did you just save this for the end when she stood up and I would have been okay? But you played it throughout the movie, and I'm just like, yeah, this is still. I just need to know who it is for. Because I feel like it was for us as far as black people, but then it was like, yeah, I'm not sure, because now they seem like they leaning into the comics, and now they leaning this way. I just don't know what was going on, and I don't even understand what Judd Nelson whole. He was just angry to be angry. It looked like, she liked him.
He was mad from the first scene of the film for no reason.
All I'm saying is, like,
I know why he's mad. He's mad because he's not Paul Reiser in Aliens. He thought this was the next Paul Reiser in Aliens moment.
Oh boy!
And as soon as he read that script, he was like, "I'm out." I'm calling his agent every day, just like,
That's crazy.
They had Judd Nelson. He had his mustache twirling from the first second of this film. By the way, the first line of this film was like, "My nuts are on fire" or something like that. Which, like, I just couldn't. That's enough. My nuts are on fire.
No, he said my butt's on fire. And the dude was like, I thought I smelled roasted nuts. What?
Yeah.
I said this movie's gonna be worse than I remember. As soon as I saw that line, because I could not remember that. Rich, what were your thoughts of this film?
Listen, Annabeth Kish, Sparky, was my low-grade MVP of this entire film, because she clearly, Richard Roundtree saw it, his big mama saw it, even the bad guy saw how much she was into John Henry Irons.
Yeah.
And he couldn't build her like a ramp or something to his heart. Like, even at the end of the movie, the Transformer made her like 6'5".
And hugged her. Just hugged that bitch.
And he gave her that church hug. Gave her like half a shoulder.
Come here, let me hug you a little.
Leave some room for the Holy Spirit. Now, but yeah, I love that. And I love the fact that they really embraced how bad this movie was going to be. And
all of them did.
Yeah, they all just leaned into it. Like, dude, like the scene.
Are you sure about that?
Got her out of. Yeah, think about the scene where he tried. Basically, they took One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and he's like, "Oh, I thought you'd be better with all the taxpayer money," and she's like gone. She's like basically a spinal. I'm waiting for John Goodman to show up, and it's like, I've seen that look before. Like, just she's gone, and he shoves the window. When you look at that scene, he's like, "Let's get out." He shoves the window, and the window's open in slow motion. But then when you cut back, they've been exploded.
Yeah.
Like, Annabeth, I know Shaq might not be used to this, but Annabeth Kish knows what a counter shot. Like, she's professional enough to realize, like, this is not good. And so I think they all embraced it, and Shaq just did as much as he could. And I'm also.
I think he was good though.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't say
Shaq,
good. I wouldn't say good.
Homeboy had a 36-inch waist. I was just.
All I was thinking, like, I'm a Laker fan, right? And I'm thinking, like, yo, this man just stayed in shape, like this shape.
Y'all had 30 championships.
That should have been so crazy. I'm just like, nobody can fuck with this dude. Like, I see why he's like, they're showing him to be stronger than the average human, like in this movie.
I mean,
but
look
like,
at him.
And I'm just like, damn, like, what about
Devin,
the basketball court?
Here's the thing that tipped me off to what's going on with Shaq, because he looks great, he moves great. But then remember the scene where the cop, he had to pull her out and the thing was supposed to explode behind her. He had to gently like fall to a knee and then place, because my man can't be doing like lucha moves.
Yeah, he ain't about
Shaq's like,
he can't jump down there.
One way.
Yeah,
the Diesel only moves, like he can't like, there's no flexion in those knees. Even back then, it was like
I will say this: this film didn't have, as bad as this film was, at least they had like good quality, like QAs, because they didn't have a whole lot of plot holes, like just bad. Like, I was on somebody else's podcast. No. Somebody had me come on their podcast last week to help them review Above the Rim. I don't know why they wanted to do Above the Rim, but they did Above the Rim. And so I'll go.
Shout out to Rasani.
Yeah, it was on Rasani. So I'm watching Above the Rim, and they had this scene where, like, in the beginning, where Shep is like he's like having this dream, like reminiscing about when he was playing with his brother Nutso and how he died, right? and when they had this, and when the dream starts, there's a big ass glass around the outside of the court. Like there's a wall around the entire outside of the court, and then Nutso goes and tries to touch the backboard. The backboard breaks, and he just falls off the edge of the court. I was like, where did the wall go? He just fell off the building and died. Like the wall just disappeared from the middle. Like in the middle, they were playing basketball. And I was just like, this is such a terrible. Like this is so terrible in forgetting it. Like that's basic shit right there. Why is that's basic editing? At least this film didn't have that. Devin, what'd you think about it?
I was automatically triggered by these whites to be whiting because I was like, why do white people gotta be so evil and always want to take shit to the extreme? And I was watching it with 2020 eyes and I was like, God damn, these whites be whiting. And then I was watching Curse, like I said, on Netflix, and they're Puritans and those whites be whiting too. It's all for Jesus, they're saying, but they killing people and burning shit down to the ground. So I was triggered automatically when I saw the fire, and then I saw my man say, "Hey, what's your top secret clearance?" 4, and the nigga tell her everything. I'm like, God damn, like this is trash. And then my man Ray J just not growing that one bit since this movie came out in '97. That hurt my heart a little bit. And then Big Mama made my heart smile, and she was gonna be the next Julia Child. So I'm cool with that. I was cool with that. And then yeah, Shaq was alright, man. I was just thinking like if he stayed in shape, man,
you
he would
give
have been a
Shaq
Lakers
a lot
still.
of benefits of the doubt. I feel like you're grading on the meanest of curves.
I'm just saying like he was alright as far as I seen Shazam and he did some growing. So fuck you. Like he did a lot of growing as an actor since
Shazam. I mean, that's the lowest of bars.
Well, fuck you. I'm just saying, like, give a nigga a benefit of the doubt, man. Do some growth, nigga. It's progress.
I mean, you know where Shaq was good? He was good in
Blue Chips.
No,
Shaq Fu.
What was that movie that just came out a couple years ago with Lil Rel?
Adam Sandler movie?
No, with Lil Rel Howery and Nate Robinson and Uncle
that
Drew.
Was Adam Sandler movie.
Uncle Drew. Shaq was good in Uncle Drew.
He was good Uncle Drew. Yeah.
But this
he didn't have to do much moving. He could basically be himself, like now movement-wise, but then pretend to be older, and it makes sense because he's so like my man's in so much pain. Like him and Big Show could just do a documentary on like being big dudes who just because he was the same dude. If Big Show stayed in the shape he was in WCW,
yes,
he would have been like
missile drop kicks at like 400 pounds
from the top rope. Like if I took a missile drop kick from a 6'10" dude, you're dead. Like that's a fit. Like you just call your family, do the nurse head shake from Steel and call it a day.
I can
like he's gonna pull through, right?
I can sum this movie up in a couple scenes. First of all, they had a 7'1" black man being your sniper. So you want this big ass black dude to be an inconspicuous sniper hiding out somewhere, sniping people. Like that's gonna work out for you. I
see you.
Then the whole movie
he blends in with the Hummer. He's like, do we have 2 Hummers on this mission?
Yeah. And then the whole movie, they're like, we got these. The whole movie was based on like these super dangerous weapons, right? Like these super dangerous weapons, to the point that they had this montage of like all these different stereotypical racist criminal groups who want these weapons. They had like the Russians,
the Nazis,
the Nazis.
The
I screamed when I saw those Nazis because I didn't remember it. I just howled. Like, wait a minute.
I didn't either. Yeah.
So these weapons are so powerful and dangerous. How come whenever they shoot a person, they just get up in like 10 minutes? Like a regular bullet is more dangerous than these weapons. People, when they robbed that bank.
Hill
right?
Harper got hit 3 times. Hill Harper got hit 3 times in the scene, yo. At the end, like the end little montage shit.
They robbed that bank. They pulled that weapon out, shot it on the security guards. The security guards still moving around on the ground, like just rubbing their head like they got a headache, like they trying to get up. But the whole world wants these weapons.
And not only that, Judd Nelson was running a streaming service. He said he could rent them. It said you went on loan. You can't have them, but you can rent these out. It was opening up his old Blockbuster.
How much?
And he was trafficking them in the back of arcades.
Yo, his henchman, when he made the black man his right hand man, I was like, God damn.
That black man was overacting like I ain't seen in a long time. What was his name? Let me see. What was his name?
God
When
damn.
he had to get out the elevator, that was
That
he's
was
like, hey, why don't
crazy.
you help me with some notes? And he's like, see you later. I was like, you should have known what was up the second that dude was like, oh, hold up. I left something in the office. I was like, we don't have it. Oh no.
He killed them people for no reason. We're gonna jump around. I'm not gonna go in order. We'll jump around
the
this.
storyline of the revenge of the guy who's like to the left of her, who's just, getting off of work, trying to get some pizza, maybe some Dominoes for his kid. He just got murked just because he can't handle a little criticism from a woman again.
Yo, real shit. That's another thing. White men are evil all day, every day. Will be.
He was so mad for
but
no
then
reason.
yo, when the black dude was in the bottom warehouse, the lower level, and he was trying to get the little like the AK-47 or like the fucking whatever the M5 in the back of the arcade machine, shit had me dying, yo.
So we
It
can.
was
So
wild.
I knew this movie was going to be ridiculous. Also, when the whole premise of this movie is that Judd Nelson's character Shaq makes this sonic gun, right? And he's about to test it out, and a senator, some evil ass senator, is like, "I want to see how really powerful this is." And so Judd Nelson gets behind it, and of course it's color coded, right? So it's so obvious. It's like some Looney Tunes shit. So he turns it all the way up, and he shoots it into like this fake house. And it destroys the house, and then it ricochets back to the house that they in and destroys the house. Sparky gets crushed. I don't know how she's still alive. Sparky.
Cause Shaq jumped in right in a moment of time, a nick of time. He's strong.
Shaq's so strong that he can lift cement roofing off of a person with his bare hands. Saves her. Somehow everybody. First of all. Somehow Shaq barely has any. He has like a scratch on his face. Sparky's paralyzed. Judd Nelson, I don't know what happened to him. Everybody else is dead. Everybody else in the building's dead.
No, not the colonel. He got out the way, and
oh yeah, the colonel did get out the way, but the senator is dead. She dead immediately, and then he goes in military court, and they go, we found you guilty. You are going to just be removed from the military. I'm like, this man killed a sitting senator.
Blue Lives Matter, guys.
Not before he almost lets the N-word slip on Shaq.
Yes,
he did.
He was like, oh, if I didn't have to be back on my TV show in 2 weeks. Oh, you dirty. Oh, you
so close.
He bumped into a black dude right after that shit. That shit, I was like, oh shit.
This man killed a sitting senator and got nothing. Just,
he got to go to L.A. He got to go to L.A.
Got to go to L.A. and make a bunch of money. For an arcade dude, trafficking weapons in the back of arcade machines. He rolls into this man's office and he goes, oh, I got these weapons for you. And the arcade man goes, I'm just here making a good living. Obviously, this dude knows like what you really about.
I guess they work for the NSA. That's another thing they don't say, but they do.
Who worked for the NSA?
They had to because the colonel was the NSA motherfucker.
Oh,
because you can't let nobody know about the military or the public know about these weapons. It's the NSA, apparently.
And then the weapons show up in the street. Like somehow he get these weapons to this purple gang. Ain't that what it was called? The purple gang. So he gets to the purple gang.
The Martin, something that started with M. I can't remember.
I said, and this is funny because after just listening to Jeff and Shahid's review of The Last Dragon, Shahid the whole time was like, where are the cops in New York? This whole movie in The Last Dragon. These dudes are riding through L.A. in a Hummer that's decked out with all types of armor and a big-ass sonic gun on the top, and nobody stops them. And then what do they do, right? They rob a computer store. Because the first thing, I thought it was a bank. I went back and watched it. It wasn't a bank. It was a computer. It was like a computer building.
Hold on, the first robbery was a computer store?
No, it wasn't a computer store. It was like a computer company, like a headquarters. Like
why they have a vote with a whole bunch of money in it?
That's what I said. I said, why do they have a vote with like five? And they said they have $500 million out of there. That's what they said afterwards.
No, 5,000. They got 5,000.
No. They said
500
$500 million.
They got $500,000 off that. They got $500,000. It's $500,000.
I'm pretty sure he said half. You sure he said $500,000?
$500,000. It's
Okay.
$500,000.
Why you got a bank?
He's like 500.
Why you got a vote in your office headquarters with that much money in downtown LA? That makes no sense at all. At all. All right, so this is what I wanted to ask y'all about. All right, here's the first thing. Did y'all notice that they gave Sparky a Lieutenant Dan moment when she fell out of the wheelchair?
Wheelchair, yeah, damn right.
Oh boy. Okay. Before we get there with that scene, with that scene and the scene where Shaq is chasing the dude at the railroad tracks or whatever, you can tell they were trying to make
the longest chase in history.
They absolutely were trying to make 90 minutes. They had to extend it because I was like, why is this so long? And why is she taking so long to get in the chair? I get it. Don't get me wrong. I understand she's, her legs don't work, and that would take a long time. But the way it was shot, I'm just like, oh, man. It just made me start feeling uncomfortable. I was like, all right, okay. She's in the chair now, finally. And they get the big smile and the point.
I forgot about that railroad track scene.
Oh, it's long.
It's so long. It's so stupid.
Hey, what is that? What's that actor from? The little boy. What is he? Is he on So For Real? Because that looks like the lead singer for So For Real.
Which one?
The little light skinned dude with the big nose. His name was Cutter. Cutter, yeah.
Oh, he looks like him.
I don't know either. Really.
His name was
like,
what?
Yeah.
Cutter? His
Cutter,
name is George Lamore. He was in Sister.
Okay,
on
well
the
maybe
show.
that's what.
No, it looked like he was just on one episode. He was on. He played. He was on 12 episodes of Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Okay.
And
I've seen him before. That's what I'm saying.
Since then.
Okay.
But listen, this scene, Shaq is moving in slow motion. This dude is running, getting through things, and then somehow Shaq gets stuck behind all these. He gets stuck behind all these train tracks. These trains, and then you turn around. Why my man
could have punched my man in the face though, yo? Why my man could have punched the employee in the face? So why he beat that nigga up, yo? Why he beat that white man up? He had to beat that man up. He could have just kept on going. He punched that white man and beat the shit out of that white man. That white man was done.
He was angry.
He was like, "We switching cars."
So Shaq, I forgot to say this. So Shaq quits the military. That's why he's back in LA. I forgot to say that. So he quits the military. He goes to, and we also skipped this part. Rich, did you notice how he goes to St. Louis, right, to pick up Sparky? And he runs into this rehab facility, and he's trying to get her to, like, come help him out. And he just picks her up in the wheelchair and carries her out the facility to a round of applause. What was that?
They needed to play Officer and a Gentleman. Love lift us up where we belong.
Rich, chill.
I said, what is going on here? First of all, why are they clapping? Were they listening to their conversation? Like, were they just listening to what was going on?
She probably was just, couldn't deal with her in there, and everybody was just happy she was gone. Pout, sitting there, probably not taking a bath. Yeah, get Sparky up out of here. Go clean her up.
Shaq was ready to go. He goes back to L.A. They go to his uncle house, Richard Roundtree's. No, not uncle house. His junkyard, right? Richard Roundtree and Shaq's like, "Oh, I found this," and it's like some high-end computer thing for the time. And so Sparky's like, "How you find this stuff?" And he's like, "Oh, some things fall off the back of the truck." So are we supposed to believe that Uncle Joe just be stealing shit?
Yes.
Like, is that what they were trying to tell us?
Yes.
Uncle Joe, a smuggler.
How was Uncle Joe a babyface in the times?
Homeboy been robbing Radio Shacks for like a smooth decade.
He's robbing to help be a hero. So what? I don't know.
She gives him a list of all this stuff, right? Now I don't know. I know there was some time a time jump, but like, how long do y'all think it was in between that first meeting and when they built an entire hideout under a fake? Somehow they welded a bunch of junk together and then put it on hinges and remote control so they can
What
lift
about the
up.
hydraulics, Brandon? How we gonna have hydraulics on this? Like, I was like, this is the Batcave on a budget. I do not understand how any of this works.
How long did they have to make this? Or did he already have that there and he was just using it to sleep in? Was that his house? Like, I'm not sure what was going on with that.
Roundtrees?
Yes.
Richard Roundtree? I think so. But they don't know because he told us when Shaq picked up, he said, we made you this bathroom and we made you another one at his house. So I don't think he lives there. So I guess that's just the base of operation.
Also, do they not have any jobs anymore, or does Shaq just have? Did they because that thing fell on her while she was in the armored unit? Did they give her like some big ass settlement? So
Probably.
So Sparky's just rich and she's funding all this.
Oh, she got that GI benefits. She got the spinal
she good.
benefits. She's good.
You saw what Shaq was doing. Shaq was just working and having King magazine girls gawk over him, and he just acting all oblivious. So, Sparky, I love you. Yeah, I hope y'all caught that.
Yes.
Did y'all get those models? I'm like.
Also, why were those models in that facility with no gear on? They were just in regular ass clothes in the welding place.
Okay.
Take your family to work day.
I'm playing the Shaq, the publicist for Shaquille O'Neal. He's going to L.A. Let's make him look like a real, women want him and stuff like that. Enter two women, and he just ignores them twice.
Just ignores them. Didn't even pay attention to him. I forgot to say this. This is key to the movie as well. Shaq's talking to his grandma, and she's talking to him about some, private job, private industry job. She's like, "Oh, this is why you left the military?" He's like, No, Grandma. I'm not getting it. I'm not making weapons anymore. We need to get these weapons off the street." And then his whole gimmick is that he makes weapons. Like, I was like, this is an NRA wet dream. We gotta fight guns with guns.
Somewhere Tony Stark is sticking his nose up looking at him.
That was the thing. So I was reading this article Rich sent me, and one of the people involved in the movie was like, "Oh, they made Iron Man from this. This is like this inspired Iron Man." And I'm just like, y'all clearly never read a comic book before.
No,
like
absolutely.
never read a comic before. Also, this dude was not Tony Stark. They gave us no evidence the only evidence that we have that Shaq created anything was that he said he created anything. Because when they had to build the stuff for his steel suit, the only damn thing that he made was the helmet.
But he was really hammering stuff like, he was doing the great value version of that Iron Man scene.
He's supposed to be the weapons person. He didn't make none of the weapons at all.
I would love to somebody make a shot for shot. Steel making his, Tony making Iron Man Mark 1, because if they went up against each other, even the Mark 1 would have smoked magnets and a shotgun or whatever that little secret button at the top of his little. Even, oh my God, she was like Jarvis. Oh, okay, yeah, this is too much. My head hurts now. Yeah. I'm thinking because she was like, you guys, the first time he's like, he's got eyes in the back of his head. It's like, oh boy, yeah. Oh no.
So that reminds me, Rich. What did you think about the action scenes in this film?
I thought that Shaq could stand very well. Applause for him on standing. Not since G.I. Joe went to steal the broadcast energy transmitter back from Cobra La have I seen so many people interested in a weapon that could do so little if you just think about it for a second. Because that opening scene, when we look at all these contraband weapons, they shoot that car like 15 times. I thought it was going to be like RoboCop. Y'all remember in RoboCop when they got those guns? Those things were those dudes were like, we're going to just blow up a side of town and prove how wild we are. These dudes show up, they shoot the cop car like 15 times and nothing happens. It's like pew, pew, pew. Like they should have had the Lego movie guys just come out and make the noises. So, yeah, the action scenes to me were I had more fun watching Shaq play fake basketball than I did watch the action scenes. I don't know about y'all.
They also had 4 free throw joke scenes in the movie. And then he finally makes it at the end off of a lucky bounce with the grenade. Also, I don't mean to jump ahead, but that was the longest blowing up grenade I think I've ever seen in the movie. The dude throws the grenade. Him and Ray J look at it. Then he picks it up and hands it to Shaq. And he's like, well, we got to get rid of this grenade. And he's like, throw it out of there. And then Shaq goes, I'm not very good at free throws. And he's sitting there eyeing up the shot for like 10 more seconds and then throws the grenade. And then it lands and then it blows up. That was so ridiculous. All right, so we get to the part where he gets the Shaq suit. What'd you think about? All right, so this is the '90s, Jeff, but what'd you think about the suit? And taking into consideration this was 1997.
Well, I just saw Spawn, so I'm just like, what is this? What the fuck is this? Like, I don't keep up with Superman. That's not my bag or anything like that. I just don't keep up with him. But I knew about the 4 different, Supermans after he died and whatever. I'm just like, what the hell is this? And I get it to a certain degree. It is. It was 97, but still no S on your chest, no cape, and just like Shaq with some shit on him. I don't know. I don't know.
Michael Keaton's suit was better in 1987.
Yeah. So I'm like, you can do it if you want to. It's just like, I think it's one of those things where it almost like how the X-Men were, where, he didn't want to put him we're not going to put him in those classic costumes. So they kind of like, nah, we just going to kind of make our own little thing here and close enough, I guess. But it won't even close.
Devin, what'd you think about the suit? Devin.
I really feel like why would they do it like that? Because, like, again, when it goes from looking metal to it's rubber, it's crazy. The face thing just didn't work for me. I feel like they should have really had him, at least when he made the helmet, at least top it in some water, at least show like he did some work instead of like showing it red. It was terrible. I mean, but again, we see the suit as the first proto run, so like I'm not really.
Oh, so you're thinking this is like his Mark 1?
It's gonna get better.
So
Yeah, right.
This is gonna be better. So do y'all think they had plans on making a sequel, but it bombed so much that they were just like, nah, forget that?
Nope.
Or do you think this was always
going back to your original argument? Yeah, this is one of those, they put the trial balloon out. If it was gonna blow up, I don't think they were in the mind frame for the sequel, but they would probably try to do more with Shaq. Kind of like what happened with Rock early, like you get that cameo.
Oh,
Scorpion
shit,
King.
you stupid.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
they did the Arnold thing. That was the biggest sign to me. They really they tried to do like Bobo Arnold voice with him, and like, okay, let's see where this goes.
I forgot about that.
They did Arnold. They did him.
So this is just like the what was the first movie The Rock? Oh, not the first. The second one he did with Stifler, The Rundown.
The Rundown, yes, when he did the rock
when
bottom.
he walks into the club to get the bounty, and the Arnold was across his path. He's like, "It's yours now." And then Arnold proceeded to make 15 more Terminator movies.
Oh man, that's
Arnold's the man, yo.
I don't think this was supposed to have a sequel. I mean, if they would have lucked up and this would have made a lot of money, sure, yeah, let's do another one. People love this, but I don't think they had no plans for a sequel.
all right. Before we keep going, I do have a question for the group because I like to break things up when we do our reviews. So I'm going to read you a list, all right, and I want you to tell me if this film is better or worse than the other film. All right.
Let's do it.
Steel or Kazam?
Steel. Jeff?
I don't know. Kazam.
Boo! You just want to be a contrarian. Brandon, what are you?
I haven't seen Kazam in a long time. I can't imagine that it's better than this since it came before this. So I'm gonna go with Steel. Rich?
Steel all day. Bang bang, Steel gang.
All right. Steel.
He lives in Pittsburgh. It's awesome.
I'm gonna do 3 of these: Steel or Batman and Robin.
Steel.
Steel. No, you can't say holy rusted metal Batman and ever get my respect.
Yeah,
you can't get Batman nipples.
It's Steel.
You can't disrespect Bane. Oh no! That you ever get me on Bat? If you ever did a Batman and Robin, oh
Wait,
man.
that was
Hold
another.
up.
That was another one. We did that.
Yeah, we did do that one.
shit.
Yeah, that was another one. We did do that one. Yeah, we only do bad movies. We hate ourselves here.
Oh god! The fact that they did that to. Oh my god!
It's a
I
lot.
was in a dark place when I saw that. But I was like, wait a minute. I just realized this dude broke Batman's back, and you got him simping. I didn't even know what simping was.
He just
I'm
hanging
at-
out on stuff
I'm
for Poison
triggered now.
Ivy. It's all right.
I'm-
All right. He was driving Miss Daisy. Why did they steal that driving Miss Daisy scene? Where he was Morgan
that's
Freeman.
real shit.
Oh my God. Okay, we're good. I'm sidetracked.
And Uma was just away from becoming the bride, and like,
she was the best thing about the movie.
yeah.
I agree.
She leaned into everything.
Yeah, she
She's like,
definitely did
okay.
lean into that. Absolutely. All right, and then the last one, Steel or Halle Berry Catwoman?
Steel.
Oh, Steel.
Yeah, like,
Oh man.
Okay, I'm gonna say Catwoman.
okay,
Wow.
go ahead.
Here's why.
Explain.
Here's
Come on,
why.
Rich.
She was better at basketball than Shaq was. Changed my mind.
That was about it.
But that's all I needed. Like in terms of bad movies, when they do other things, he was better at the thing he's better at than he was.
I just got annoyed because I'm thinking about how that scene was shot. No.
Yep.
No.
Think about those shots. Think about those kids. The way they had to play the quote unquote urban music. Oh my god. Oh, just think about it. Just let it marinate.
I ain't fucking with y'all.
Devin, that's on our list too, is to do Catwoman. So I have this list of bad comic book movies on my computer that I had to find somewhere in my documents, but I wrote these down when we first started doing these retro reviews. So just before we finish out this movie, here's some on the list: Catwoman, that Supergirl movie from the '80s, terrible. Daredevil, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Wait a minute. Okay, can I ask one thing? When you do this movie, are y'all doing the actual theatric one, or are you doing the extended or which y'all director's cut one?
I didn't know there were two.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
I think
If it's a bad movie, I would do the release because the directors I thought made more sense.
Yes, the director's cut is really changes the movie for you.
Yeah,
you might
and
be
Brandon, we're
careful.
not like the Snyder cut folks. Just to
Okay.
warn. This ain't like release the Snyder cut. Release it.
Okay, that's good to know. Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider.
How dare you?
Please
Wow.
don't do that. That movie is special to me for all the
It
wrong
is.
reasons. It's still special.
Listen, I interviewed his
You know
son,
what?
and it took
wow.
me all of my professionalism because we do a lot of the movie reviews for the Torch, and since they give it to us, they'll give people, because these B movies they also have wrestlers. They'll give us the non-wrestlers because the wrestlers typically can't interview for us with the Torch, and so it's like, okay, we get, you can go to Cage Coppola. I was like, oh, wait, excuse me? What? He's like, yeah, his oldest son. And so I was like, he's like, yeah, I was just texting with my dad about how awesome it is to be talking to you guys. I was like, can you just give me your dad's phone? I just need to tell him he is the greatest movie actor in this world at doing bad movies to pay for castles, because
Yes.
that's what he. Like the first one, I enjoy. If y'all do Ghost Rider 2, that is just I can't. It's poop. It
Yeah,
sucks.
Ghost
Why?
Rider too.
Yeah, why did he do that?
Like him doing like the dream sequence, peeing on fire, like that. That first one though, he's like, I'm Ghost. Oh, Johnny Blaze. The right person to play Johnny Blaze, basically Chris
'Cause I
Christopherson's uncle.
I never thought I'd see a Ghost Rider movie, and I thought they did for that time and everything. I thought that movie was okay with me, and I
Oh
just
yeah, it was
enjoyed that
good
movie.
at the time. At the time, it was good. It was good.
I'm sure it'll be way better now, but that's a guilty pleasure of mine because Nicolas Cage was like, okay, I'm all in.
He did.
And
He went all in.
The last one that was on the list was Howard the Duck.
That's
Oh.
the best movie ever. It's
Oh,
not.
boy.
It's never. It's
I
not.
think
It's not
that
gonna
might
be
have
bad to
been
me.
That might have been like the second nude scene I ever saw as a kid. That movie
Yeah.
scarred me for life.
It's
Yeah.
never gonna not be good. A good movie to
Now-
me. It's never not gonna be a good movie.
I was told that there was a Captain America movie in the 90s,
Yes, watch
Yes.
that movie. It's amazing.
but I've
It was-
never
Captain America
seen it.
decapitates a dude.
It used to be on YouTube. I don't know if it's still there.
Okay, so
Here,
yes,
while we're talking, I'm gonna find it for you because I love that movie.
yeah,
Oh
I was
my
told
God.
there was one. And I was told it was really bad, and that I should see it. But I have never known where to find it.
Yeah, it was
will
from
never do that to myself.
1990, and it's bad. But my God, like he murders a dude with the shield. Like that's all I needed to see as a kid. Like it was a fatality in a movie. I did not know what a fatality was at the time. I was educated. Oh yeah, it's still on YouTube.
Okay.
Whole movie,
So that's on our list.
7
then.
minutes.
All right, so let's finish up this terrible movie. So Shaq gets into these fights right with these gang members, and then Nicholas. I mean not Nicholas. I was thinking about that movie Nicolas Cage. Then Judd Nelson's character like comes and takes Sparky hostage, right? Sparky and Ray J hostage, and Shaq's got to go save him. This man, Shaq, is the worst hero of all time. He doesn't have to do anything to beat these people. There was no scenes of doubt in this film, except when he has to shoot a free throw with the grenade. Like usually they put a scene in where it's like, I don't know if the hero's gonna make it out of this situation. I don't remember seeing any of those in this film.
I mean, those long ass police chasing scenes. Oof. I was like,
Hey, Officer Marcus is my friend, guys. Officer Marcus respected John enough to look at him in the eye and say, "You saved my life, so I'm gonna let you slide, bro."
I'm glad
I
you
got
brought
bro.
that up, Jeff and Devin. How many people look like Shaquille? I know LA's a big city.
That shit is crazy. Like,
It's only
How
one
many
person.
7'2" armored black men are you gonna see in a
Bro.
given time?
you just came home and then we seeing some big metal man running around. We know it's you. Come on, man, stop playing. What are we doing right now?
And, the funniest part was when Shaq's talking to Ray J. He's like, "Don't tell Grandma." I'm like, "Do you think your grandma's an idiot? Like, do you think she's an idiot? Like, you must think she's an idiot." Because,
Don't have 7'2" people grow on trees where y'all at. So
by the
stop
way, now that I brought that Captain America thing and Rich sent me this link, that movie had a $10 million budget, right? $10 million budget. It made $10,000.
it. Oof.
That's gotta be terrible.
Somebody killed themselves.
Oh.
Somebody jumped off the building for that shit, yo.
Oh, that's gotta be
Just
terrible.
watch it. Just watch it and just let it wash over you.
That's coming up soon. Thank you, Rich. Yes. Okay. All right. So, anything else y'all got about this film? Because I got a couple things before we get out of here that I want to talk about besides this. But it's just so bad I can't even get through the rest of it. Jeff, anything else you got that you want to talk about that you saw?
I just wish they would have went in with the kiss scene, man. I wish they would just had Sparky and him kiss.
At the
Say,
end.
"Oh, either side I love you." That was something.
Why you want to start race wars out here?
I'm just saying.
Annabeth was waiting for it. Annabeth was there.
And she was so
Oh.
ready for it.
We've already been through Jungle Fever, and we already, let's just go ahead and just do it here too.
He's a big black man.
Rich, anything else you got?
No, I think we handled it. Like, listen, Transformer, Annabeth Kish, Optimus Kish, Sparky she was it right there, and
Oh,
it could have been us, but you playing. Like, listen, when somebody tell me to stand up, that's what I'm gonna show. And that look on his face when he was like, "Oh."
like I said, 15 more minutes, and she would have had that spike suit from Transformers.
Devin, anything you got?
No, I'm good.
All right, we usually do some articles, so if y'all have like 10, 15 more minutes, we can go through some of these articles that I saved for this week.
Of course.
All right. So, Devin, did you hear about, because you're the one, I know Jeff and Rich probably heard about this because they're on Twitter and you're not. Now, Devin, did you see about the black shows that's coming to Netflix in the next couple months?
Oh yeah, it came on Instagram today. Yeah, definitely. I'm only here for girlfriends and maybe half and half.
Jeff, any of those you interested in rewatching?
Oh, I am running through Moesha because when we get to Dorian and he was Drake before Drake was even doing hiding his kid and stuff. Oh yeah.
Yo, that's real shit, yo. Oh man. Jeff, clap it up for you. That's a fucking
You
that's
are
a bar
hiding
and
a
double.
child.
Yes, he was hiding. When I say he was hiding, he was trying to hide from his wife, his daughter, his son, and trying to shut him up with hush money. Oh man, it was wild. And not to mention slut shaming your daughter. Yeah,
There's that.
it's a lot to
He's a
unpack.
terrible father.
Oh, absolutely.
Terrible father. Rich,
Yeah,
any of those
Frank.
shows you were into? Rewatching?
Moesha, Girlfriends, especially because you can see the growth of the actresses in Girlfriends.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like if you tried to get those 4 women together for a show now, that's going to cost you a
Could
lot
never.
of money.
Yeah.
Or like a reunion episode, like reunion show, 1 hour
God.
show. Oh, that'd be
Tony
cool.
Childs. I was talking. My girlfriend was talking about this shit. She was like, What girlfriend do you like the most or whatever?" I was like, "I want to be with Lynn, but I want to fuck Tony Childs." But Tony Childs was too rude, and she didn't love herself enough when I would have met her. You know what I mean? So like, cause she was out here loving white men and shit. I was like, you don't love us, sis. I'm gonna wait for you. But I still would have had a relationship with Lynn because she real like airy and flowy. But Joan was a solid one. And then what's Golden Brooks character name?
Don't ask
I
me.
can't remember.
I want to see the game because I gotta wash this taste of Jace Turner out my mouth from The Gifted. He was such
He's good.
a terrible.
He was so good. He was so good.
so terrible.
good.
Like that character.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The Gifted was one of my favorite shows, but Jace Turner was one of the characters I hated most on television. Like he's up there with Stringer Bell with me. And so like I need to see something where he's better in, and I heard that he's good in the game. As Jason Pitts, and so I was like, maybe I'll check out that and see if I like him any better.
The game is weird because initially, if I remember when I first started watching it, it was like a strictly comedy, and then somewhere it changed. I'm not sure where, but it got to like drama comedy or drama.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is a different show. And then when it went to BET, it was whatever. it went to Tyler Perry level. So I was just like, yeah, I'm out. But I think those first couple of seasons were pretty, good. But the guy that plays Jason Pitts, he's really good in the show.
That's the character. I mean, he was good in The Gifted too. I just hated Jace, the character. This is funny. Titans Brenton Thwaites thought he was going to be cast in DC's Nightwing movie.
He should have been.
Did you watch Titans? That's just so terrible. Jeff, did you watch Titans?
Yes.
Did you like Titans?
It's hard to say. I
Paul's
enjoyed.
giving you away, Jeff. Paul's giving you away, Jeff.
Jeff be so nice to these shows, man.
No. The problem with Titans was they did. I don't know what that first season was. I'm not
Horrible?
even trying to jump to. Yeah, well, that. But the second season seemed like they were going in the right direction. It still wasn't a perfect show, but I enjoyed it more than the first season.
I can't believe you made it to the
So,
second season.
I never even started it. So
Dick Grayson's my favorite comic book character, Nightwing. And so watching that show literally made me want to punch the television. And then I didn't watch season 2 because I was so mad at season 1. But Mike, our co-host, watches it, right? And he comes on one episode and he goes, "Let me tell you what happened to Titans." I'm like, "Mike, I don't want to know what happened to Titans." He's like, "I have to tell you what happened." So he tells me that, like, Wonder Girl's like fighting somewhere, and a pole falls on her and she dies. And I said,
in a carnival.
I said, "It's Wonder Girl. What do you mean a pole fell on her and she dies?" He's like, "Yeah, they were fighting and the pole fell on her and she died." And I said, "There's no way I'm ever watching another second of that show. There's no way." Rich, did you watch season 2?
I didn't watch season 1. I didn't watch season 2.
Good for
I
you.
would watch season 3 if they had it. To me, Titans was up there. Like Shahid would always tell me what's going on in Gotham, and I'm like, "Why are you torturing me?"
Oh man.
He's like, "Yeah." So they time jumped, and now he's an adult. And like, what? It's like, oh, did anyone else age change? Nope. He's an adult now.
I think I told Rich this, but Jeff doesn't know this. So Gotham's another show that I hated. I watched the first season, and I was like, this has potential until, Jim Gordon executes a man. And then at that point, I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I stopped watching, right? And so then towards the end, the trailer comes out for the finale. So we get on the show, and so me, Mike, and Devin are like, "This is what we're gonna do." None of us has watched Gotham since the first season. We're gonna watch. I watched some of the second season. I take that back. We're gonna watch the finale of the show and review it with no context, and just talk about it on the show. Now, Jeff, you're really nice to these movies. I listened to your reviews. Did you like Gotham?
No, I stopped after the first season.
My man.
I was out, and I mean, me and Shaheed had this conversation. I was just like, yeah, I'm thinking about a lot of stuff with Batman because that's my favorite comic book character, and I'm just like, what's happening now? And then when I heard about, they're putting him in this suit I was like, I thought they won't go put him in the suit. And I was just like, nah, I don't care. I just don't care. Probably never watch it.
Can I interest Jeff and Rich? Can I interest you in Gotham PD show on HBO Max?
Yes, you can.
Yes, because Doom Patrol, as Brandon and I talked about.
Yes, Doom Patrol is fantastic.
It's
I watch.
Why the fuck are we gonna have a Gotham PD show? I'm sorry. Why? Batman ain't doing his job, and y'all ain't doing shit either.
Doom Patrol is great. I didn't know everybody else watched it.
I'm not talking about Doom Patrol, and it's a great show. Brendan Fraser is fucking amazing. I'm talking about these motherfuckers in Gotham that don't do shit regardless. Batman shows up, does all the fucking work, and then they do something later.
That's true.
No, that's not true. They got daylight. He ain't showing up at 10 o'clock in the morning for a bank robbery.
That's also true.
I
just don't understand why. So did anybody watch Pennyworth?
No.
No.
Do you know? Like, I don't know any. I have never seen anybody talk about it.
Did it happen?
Maybe his family.
Yeah, it already came out.
Oh, wow.
Let me see. Was it rated on Rotten Tomatoes? Pennyworth is at 73% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's not bad.
Oh, not bad.
That's a lot of critics.
Yeah, it gotta be. It can't. What's the
audience score? The audience score is 95%.
Wow.
So I don't know. I don't know. But,
okay.
It's got an 8 out of 10 on IMDb too. So, and 80% on Google users. So I don't know. Maybe it's actually good. I gotta say, here's the thing. I watched what's that show I watched that you and Mike wouldn't watch, Devin? Krypton. I watched Krypton.
Oh, okay, Krypton is pretty good.
Krypton's pretty good.
Yeah.
And people wouldn't think it was pretty good, but it was actually pretty good. So maybe Pennyworth is like that.
You the second person I heard say that.
What, Krypton?
Yeah, about Krypton, because
there's black people in that show. There's black people in that show.
It's the first time they show the planet where it looks like regular. Yeah, like okay, if we're gonna have fantasy, why can't there be black people on the planet where everyone's super intelligent?
They did Brainiac better than anything I've ever seen before, and he looks like they have movie money. Like that's how good he looked on the show.
That is facts. I will agree.
So
I may go back and watch that.
It got canceled, so it's only 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But it was actually much better than you would think. I didn't get to ask you. I haven't talked to you on the show in a while, Jeff. And I think I know the answer with Rich. But Jeff, are you looking forward to the Snyder Cut?
I don't care. I mean, I'm gonna watch it.
I heard that this week that the Snyder Cut was 214 minutes.
Yeah.
What?
Me and Shaheed was thinking that talking. I figured that they probably might do what they did with the Hateful Eight on Netflix. With the extended version, they put it into 4-hour-long. I guess they just cut it up into 4 hours, and so you could watch it 1 hour, second hour, third hour, 4 hours. I'm thinking that's what they might do here, because I don't think nobody's gonna sit there and watch the whole movie, or maybe they might do part 1 and part 2. I don't know. I just wanted to come out. I'm just tired of hearing about it. Tired of people, Snyder fans, going, it is what it is. I just want to get it out there and get it over with. But now, after that, I heard they talking about Suicide Squad got a cut. I'm just like, when is it going to end now?
The Ayers cut?
Yeah.
Jeff and Rich, are y'all caught up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No.
God damn it! I forget to watch that show It's Wednesday too. God damn,
Rich, are
you
you
hour
caught
away?
up?
I am caught up.
So
Yeah,
this
because
is
it's a
not too much of a
natural.
spoiler, but I'll just say it. It's not too much. It's not too much of a spoiler for Jeff. Rich, what do you think about the relationship with Sousa and Daisy?
I like it.
Okay, because that's been really
Is
polarizing.
Daisy gay?
No, Daniel. Okay,
Oh.
Devin, do you remember? You watched Agent Carter. You remember Daniel Sousa from Agent Carter?
Yeah.
He he is with the team now.
Okay.
And
Wow.
him and Daisy
Time travel.
are
Okay. Thank you.
kind of a thing.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to make sure you knew. Yeah. It's not
I
like
was
she's
like,
like
has-
86. It's like you rock my world.
Oh man. Also, Jeff, I didn't know you were watching Doom Patrol either. So, what do you think about this season? Me and Rich already talked about this on his show. What do you think about it?
Insane. This show's just insane.
It's so insane, right?
Like I'm just still on. I was watching it the other day. And I'm like, they still got the ghosts having sex going around the building. I'm like, they not let that go. I think it's gonna be an ongoing thing. But yeah, I love Doom.
This
Doom
yo,
Patrol.
I always say Professor X is such a terrible person, right? I'm always on this clip. Him and Hank McCoy, I have a rant about them like every other month. This dude Chief
Miles.
is horrible. He is terrible. How is he a protagonist? He is the villain of the show.
Oh, he is.
He pushed Cliff out of a spaceship for no reason. Like, why did he do that? Like, why? I still don't understand why he did that. No reason.
Why
at all.
did he turn him into the Tin Man? Why? How, you think somebody's gonna be happy like that? And I'm just like, nah, your man's just a madman.
He is a madman. That is facts.
Did y'all see the Hellstrom trailer from Comic-Con?
Yes.
I saw it. And I see they really are. Marvel is really distancing themselves away from that too. Like, yeah, it's over there.
It's gonna be on Hulu. Is it gonna be on Disney Plus? It's gonna be on Hulu.
They are really like, yeah, it's with us, but you can go check it out over there. Doesn't have nothing to do with us.
Now, was that one of the last, Brandon? Was that one of the last Loeb shows?
Yes.
Because all the stuff that came out this week, it's Marvel's very smart at saying like, let's distance ourselves from the problematic guy.
Yes, like it did with Perlmutter.
Yep.
So yeah, this one is for Rich that I saved. Are you excited about his Dark Materials season 2?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm doing that show with Travis.
Yep.
So Damon Does Pod. We, my partner from East Coast Cast, we do that. I love it. I showed him the Comic-Con at Home 40-minute preview, and I said one of the big issues, Travis had been saying it, and then I saw Daphne Keene. I don't know if you saw it, Brandon. She looks like a grown woman now, and that's a problem. When they are pulling Game of Thrones, like, you can't make her up to look like a 14-year-old when she's like almost 20 now. I'm just Lyra Palakwa. Nope. Fast forward. It's like, how we gonna do this, y'all? Because it ain't gonna work. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think the characters they picked. I know a lot of people complain about the idea of, not a lot of people. I would say a small minority that only wants characters to be white complain that some of the characters had their sexes changed, their races changed. But I think they've done a ridiculously good job of taking a book that is very dense and making it a really good TV show.
Okay. I watched a couple episodes. I haven't finished season 1, but okay.
I can't remember.
Devin, if you get a chance, Devin, I'm a big person now. Like I'll read graphic novels, my comics, some books, but I switched to audio books thanks to my buddy Travis. And
that's Devin all day.
Yeah,
it changed up, man. Like I listened to that. I started getting into lit
So
RPGs.
what's the audio book? What's the audio book called? If you
it's his Dark Materials, Amber Spyglass. Cool. If you actually, I got to see if I have Travis send you. He has them like saved already.
That's all Devin does is listen to audiobooks. So that's right. That's right up his alley.
Yeah.
I can't remember, Rich and Jeff. Did you guys watch Star Trek Discovery?
Yes.
No.
Okay, Jeff didn't. I know Devin didn't. Rich, did you know they're doing a spinoff with Pike?
I did hear that, and I don't mind it. But I like the actor.
Well,
that
who's
plays
gonna pay Pike though? Who's gonna pay him?
No, they already have an actor. He was on the show.
Okay.
Yeah. He's pretty good. Like
Yeah,
he's a strong actor too.
Yes, he was good. That's like one of my favorite shows. I cannot wait for that to come back. My father called me today, and he's like, "Brandon, I'm watching all the news. I'm watching all the new
Star Treks.
No, not Star Trek. What's the show with Jordan Peele? Twilight Zone. He's like, I'm watching all the new Twilight Zones. He's like, they're so good. And I only watched like the first 3. Have either of y'all watched those series?
Yes.
Is it good, Rich?
I loved it. The one that was rough for me because we had Antoine Rose get shot the weekend that the police episode came out. It's like Groundhog Day, only a mother has to find a way for her and her kid not to get pulled over and killed.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Peele went there. He went there. It was like, whew.
Yeah, yikes. That's good, though.
I heard season 2 is out now, right?
Yes, but I haven't watched any of it yet because of the aforementioned Disney hijacking of the smart TV.
Oh, yeah. All right, 2 more things before we get out of here. Do y'all think Disney's finally going to bite the bullet and release New Mutants on Disney+?
No.
Oh, they can't.
Yeah.
I don't know if that helps, but they during the Comic-Con at home, they revealed that like the contracts for the New Mutants, because Fox was stupid, said it had to go into some sort of movie release before it go to any digital properties or platforms. Really? Yeah. And so they would have to renegotiate with themselves and the actors to change it. And they're like, you know what? This is already a money loser. Let's just release this in Thailand and like, oh, go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
Nah, what I was going to say is Universal has 17 days, right? And then they release their movies. I'm guessing Disney going to do 14. That's the only thing I can think of. They're going to do, we'll release them 14 days, so it'll be out for 14 days, and then they'll just release it for everybody to see. Because nobody's going to the movie.
That was the one thing I forgot to talk about, but we've been talking about this on the show for a long time about like how the movie theater experience is not great outside of the big films, and that these studios are going to start directly selling these things to the audience at the streaming platforms and redo their money. And Universal came out this week and said, "Oh yeah, so we got a deal with AMC where we're going to put the movies in the theaters for 17 days, and then they're going to be on demand." And you can watch at home. Now, the pricing of these films will be interesting to see what they choose to do. Because let's think, if you go to the movie theater, at least where I live, in Dallas, it's like, well, I had to pass, so I really don't know how much it is. But I think it's like $14. And I know if you live in the East Coast, where like we used to live in D.C., it was like $17. So
yeah,
if you put up... if you put it on demand, like where are you pricing this to make your money back? And I'm really interested to see how they do that.
I think those movies that have coming out have been like $20 or $25.
Yeah, 20 has been the staple, the mark I've been seeing. 20 for like.
Do y'all
Trolls
see
when it
people
came
paying $20 for non-A-list movies?
Yes,
no,
I do.
Because I don't know,
especially as long as the pandemic keeps going on. I think so. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think
okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Devin. Oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was just gonna say, if you're a fan of a certain actor, Denzel Washington's coming out with whatever
That's
movie. True. Oh yeah, I'll pay.
Yeah.
I'll pay the money to see that or whatever. You the family and stuff like that. So I think so.
That's true. They're gonna have
AMC. Remember, Brandon? AMC tried to get they had some hurt feelings because they went with the Buster method of like trying to break up before they get broke up with. It's like, oh, y'all made all this movie off that Trolls. Maybe we don't need you in our movie theaters no more. We don't need Universal. We don't need you. We don't need. Why they don't want me, man? Why they want?
Chill.
Absolutely had the Will Smith face.
Yeah.
They did. And then they were like, and then I was like, wait a minute. You're really gonna give up $3 billion from Fast and Furious off of Trolls? You're really gonna let that get in the way?
No.
I'm sure of it. Somebody to call.
And then once they did that agreement, that was the first picture they had up there, Fast 9. I was like, yeah, you better have it up there because you need that money.
I also saw that Tenet is getting released like all over the world except here because we're so terrible with coronavirus.
Well, because my man can't take the loss, Brandon. He can't take it. He's like, This is only a theatrical experience. It's like right now we worried about food, dog. Like we got a pandemic. We can't be worried about no Tenet and 35 millimeter. He's like, well, okay, well, I'm not releasing it in India. I'm gonna release it in like Zimbabwe and Guam. That's it. If you're those places, you watch it. Otherwise, get out my face.
But I also saw it's like in hella countries, like except us. It's like everywhere except us.
Everywhere except here.
Because we're so
But that means
terrible.
we're gonna have some dusty dude get his private jet and go sneak, and it's gonna be like Planet of the Apes, and they're gonna be Patient Zero giving it to those countries again.
Oh, this is gonna get pirated so bad here. It's gonna be out here immediately.
Oh yeah.
Immediately. All right, the last two ones are. Did y'all see the picture released of Chris Hemsworth as Terry Bollea? What he looks like for that Netflix movie.
Are you fucking
Let me
serious?
see if I can share my screen really quick. So
I didn't
Are
know
you
this.
fucking serious?
So yeah,
I didn't know this was happening.
they're doing a documentary on him. It's already been filmed. It's called Hulkamania, and Chris Hemsworth is playing Hulk Hogan. And
I mean, that's a good casting. That's a good casting option.
this
right
is
there.
what he looks like as Hulk Hogan. If y'all can see my screen.
Oh, I can see it. Holy brother.
Oh.
That's like swimmer Hulk Hogan because he didn't want to get that roids. I get it. I respect it. He got that Marvel money. This is Netflix. They ain't paying for him to look like
Oh my God. He looks like he has the fucking AIDS. It's Hulk
Oh
Hogan
my
now.
God.
He's got the 22-inch pythons though. He got the
That's facts, but the AIDS just look like it's going on. You see his face. Look at his face. He on that
That's
shit.
how
he
how
got the
Hulk
AIDS.
Hogan would look in 2020. Otherwise, you're gonna look like was it Cage in AEW?
Yes.
And everybody's like, you are obviously on steroids, sir. Like,
So
yeah,
go ahead.
this
Jeff.
movie is supposed to be like what? The birth of Hulkamania or
heyday.
something?
It's supposed
okay.
to.
yeah, like his heyday. It's kind of like Boogie Nights, but with pro wrestling.
It's a biopic.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be like how they did like Freddie Mercury and
Gotcha,
all those.
okay.
It's supposed to be like that, but with
They'll
Hogan.
probably stop at what, WrestleMania 3 or something like that.
No, I think this. I heard. See, this is what I was going to say to you. What would it take for y'all to go see this movie?
I'm not watching it.
Because I heard they were going to go all the way up to.
He was in the bed with his
yes.
above the love sponge
Yes.
wife.
Yes.
I'm a racist to a point. Like if that's like the final voiceover before the movie goes black.
It goes to black.
Yep.
That would be so good.
I said what I said.
That would be funny. All right. In the last story, and this is definitely for Rich, but everybody can chime in. Rich, did you see that Daveed Diggs wants to play Brother Voodoo in a Doctor Strange film?
I didn't, and that makes a lot of sense. Holy cow!
So, Jeff, did you see Hamilton?
No,
Okay.
not yet. Anyway, waiting for my wife.
So one of the characters from Hamilton, one of the actors from Hamilton, Daveed Diggs, he has a big afro. He's been in some other stuff that you might have seen him in. But he was on. A bunch of fans were telling him that he would be perfect to play Brother Voodoo, and then he went on there and was just like, "Yeah, that would be super dope." Like Marvel, if you're listening, I'm down to play Brother Voodoo. And also, if you'd have asked me 10 years ago about Brother Voodoo on a movie, no, not 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I don't trust anybody to do Brother Voodoo in a movie 15 years ago. Today, I can see them doing that well. They can handle that.
Brandon, I would pay money for him to be the Avengers team with Brother Voodoo, Deadpool, Rogue. Like I would want the ridiculousness of that squad.
Yes.
And then them, for those of y'all, if you didn't read it, like Jeff and Devin, the Avengers squad, when it was Deadpool's people, was funded primarily from the movie proceeds from the Deadpool movies. That's how.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy shit, yo.
He's like signing autographs like at their base, and they're like getting fed up with him. And he's like, "Look, I pay the bills, so let Daddy do what Daddy needs to do."
Jeff, did you see Blind Spotting?
Blind Spotted. Why does that sound familiar?
It's a fantastic movie.
Blind Spotted. What's it about?
It's about this dude. You remember the movie a couple years ago, and it was like the dude. He was like just about to get off probation, and then he's driving his truck, and the cop like shoots somebody in front of him, and he's just like trying not to get involved with it to like go back to jail, and it's like based in Oakland.
No, I didn't see that. Yeah, I
It's
know
a
what you're
really
talking
good
about.
movie,
I
though.
didn't see it.
Okay, I was gonna say that was Daveed Diggs too, but that movie is incredible.
He plays Rainbow's brother on Blackish.
He's in Blackish.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's also playing Sebastian in The Little Mermaid that's coming up. So
Oh, wow.
good for him. He's getting some stuff. He was in Bob's Burgers. Okay. All right.
I got a quick question before we get out of here.
Of course.
I feel like I'm the only one, but I hope I'm not. Anybody else watching Stargirl with me?
Yes. Oh my
bring
gosh.
it
Thank you
up.
for bringing that up.
Yeah.
I haven't watched this last episode from yesterday. I'm actually about to watch it when we get off. I love this show. Jeff, what do you think about it?
When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, it's going to it's going to the app, and I'm not sure about this." And I was
The
just
first
like,
episode I did too. Yeah.
I was like, okay, first episode, I was all in. I was like, okay, they're all in. I'm all in. They are not beating around the bush with this TV show. And I just think the girl, I can't think of her name. The girl that's playing Stargirl, she's really good. Didn't realize she was 27 years old. But
What if I told you that the girl who plays Dr. Midnight is 28?
Well, I believe it now. I'm finding out that girl is 27. So, okay. I'm just like, yo, the show's just really good. I think the cast is phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
At first, I got a little irritated seeing, was it Luke Owen? That's his name?
Luke Wilson.
Luke Wilson. There it is. Luke Wilson. And I was just like, this is the brother I kind of don't like. And I really don't really like Owen Wilson only in certain things. But that show is so good.
Wow.
I'm glad it's second season.
And they make you think they're about to do some trope stuff, and then they flip it. And I love that. This whole entire season is just flipping it on you.
It gets heavy too, and I didn't expect it to get so heavy.
Yes, and they clearly spent money on this show. Like they put a lot of money into the show. So yeah, I am all in on Stargirl. It's really well done. Oh, I did forget there was one last thing, and this is definitely right up Rich and Jeff's alley. Did you see that Brie Larson is campaigning to play Samus in a Metroid movie?
Yes. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it twice.
She should do it. She should do it. Definitely do it.
Why not?
Listen, I watched the when they did it on Zoom, the reading of the Scott Pilgrim script.
Fun. That was so fun.
You forget, like when I watched that movie, the comic nerd in me like explode because this is the greatest playground. You got Superman getting punched out by friggin' the baby Bluth, and you got Captain Marvel, and you have so many other characters. Like, it's amazing how many people went into comic book movies. You got Captain America dying by skateboard. I get that. Like every time I see that movie and he's like he's got the stunt doubles pop up, it just makes me I'm down with her as Samus. That might be one of the second video game movie after this new Sonic the Hedgehog that makes money.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. So I was Jeff and Shahid did an episode where they talked about like the history of Street Fighter, and then they kind of got into some other fighting games, and they were talking about like their first thoughts of Mortal Kombat. And so last week on the show, we had an article with Louis Tan, and Louis Tan said that during the filming of this new Mortal Kombat that's coming out, he said that like they're doing video game accurate fatalities, and he said they were so accurate that like he wasn't joking that a couple of them made him sick to his stomach.
I heard about
on set.
Yep.
And so I said, this makes me in for that film. This makes me in for that film. And so if Sonic was not bad and much better than people thought it was going to be, and if this Mortal Kombat film is good, maybe we can start getting some good video game films. I don't know. All right, before we go, Jeff, tell the people about your podcast, what you got coming up, all that good stuff.
Yeah, my podcast is a little bit of everything, Jeff versus the World. Primarily, we do movies. With my man Shahid, Hood Classics, and also we have the Patreon side with Hood Classics Extra. On that side, you can definitely pay $1 and you can listen to us talk about movies. And boy, if you think I'm nice about movies, or the free side, yeah, you ain't heard nothing yet.
Yeah, I heard y'all talking about 48 Hours and that racist ass Nick Nolte.
When
He called somebody. Listen, I haven't watched that movie in a long time.
He dropped the M-bomb and we just let that go. He punched that man in the gut.
He called somebody a spear chucker. A spear chucker.
Yes. Yes. That part is the best, yo. The S word.
Believe that. I was like, what?
And you know what's funny about that? And I told Shahid, I said one day I just decided to watch the second one. Now the second one involves Eddie Murphy's production. None of that is in the movie. All that is knocked off. No, Eddie was like, nah, I'm Eddie Murphy now. Yeah, I wish you would. You're not doing that here. All that's completely gone. But yeah, we do movies. Pretty soon I'll be starting to back up the I Am Not Dave Wrestling podcast in August because wrestling's just been so problematic. I haven't been wanting to talk about it, but I did jump on Rich show. Got the juices flowing again to talk about it. Me and Shahid also talk about sports with the Hipster and the Bully sports talk. And
Sports coming back. We got
sports
some NBA action. This
yeah, we will
tomorrow.
My Clippers
Can't
about
wait
to beat Devon's Lakers.
Yeah. So if you want to follow me, social media, Jeff versus the World on Twitter, Facebook, and the real Jeff versus the World on Instagram.
Yeah, that's Jeff's podcast is one of my favorite podcasts. Of course, I'm a movie guy, so I listen to tons of movie podcasts. But the way he and Shahid break down these movies, they talk about the movies from like people who understand film perspective, but they also talk about it from like funny and fan perspective as well. So you kind of get both sides of that in his reviews.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. This coming Tuesday, we will be doing Al Pacino, Robert De Niro Heat.
Yep, that's on my list to watch this weekend.
Such a good movie.
Before the review, because like I said, this me getting back into my thing of watching movies. Having a podcast to make me watch some movies is always great, and so
yeah,
I try to watch them to stay along with the podcast. Rich, tell the people about what's going on with you over at the Torch.
Absolutely. So every Saturday I have the deep dive with Rich Fann, which is a weekly hour plus, sometimes more, conversation with folks. Brandon's going to be on this week where we're talking about what he's watching, what I'm watching, pandemic life, wrestling life. Additionally, last week I had one of the few black promoters in wrestling, Andy Quilden, talk about the Speaking Out movement and what he's doing with Rev Pro, how he's handling some of the accusations for wrestlers and how they can move forward in the UK. And then also every Wednesday I do the East Coast Cast VIP with Travis Bryant. If you're interested in any of this stuff or anything I've talked about, you could always follow me on Twitter at Rich_Fan, F-A-N-N.
Yeah, me and Rich had a great conversation talking about a whole bunch of stuff. Wrestling, movies, TV, the pandemic, COVID, all of that. So definitely check that out. And I joined Jeff's Patreon because I always try to join my friends' Patreons when they have them. And Jeff sends me a message like, all right, you get to pick a movie for Hood Classes Extra. And immediately I go, CB4. And now I'm starting to regret it because I kind of want to make him watch like something good. I don't want him to watch something bad, but like CB4 was like my favorite movie for a long time, and I have no idea why. And I haven't watched it in like 10 years. So I imagine if I watched it now, it's probably terrible. But
me and Shahid, I told him that we were thinking about. He remember more scenes than I do because I said all I remember was Charlie Murphy in the movie. And then he was just telling different scenes, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Charlie Murphy goes, "I'm 10 generations deep in gangsterdom." It's my favorite line. 10 generations deep.
You absolutely got time to change it. If that's not what you want, you got 2 months.
But I think I'm gonna stick with that. Devin, you got anything left?
Nah, man. Happy to be here. Happy birthday. Enjoy your day, man.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Watch the Series podcast. Make sure you go subscribe to the Jeff vs. the World podcast. Make sure you go give Witch a listen in the deep dive and also on the East Coast cast. And sign up for VIP if you like pro wrestling. It's definitely worth it. You get to listen to Bruce Mitchell, give you a history of wrestling. You get to listen to Rich and Travis talk about a whole bunch of random shit after the East Coast cast every week. It's definitely worth subscribing to. And we'll be back next week for our regular show. We might have a guest on, but I haven't confirmed it yet. I'm going to be on Stephanie's show, the Mocha Minutes podcast, on Sunday. So you can check me out on there. And we'll be back soon. So talk to y'all later. Peace.